started, there's some basketball talk that I have to address with our so-called basketball expert who's joining us. Hey, man, what was that mess you was talking about with the Celtics, man? I knew you was smoking bum boy. I knew you was really on it, man. You talking about they wasn't gonna make it? What's going
on? Correction. I said they weren't gonna be a top 6 seed.
Oh.
That was the caveat I gave you.
Are they looking like a top 6 seed now?
It's very early. It's real early. Wait till you hit them winter slumps, and let's see. If the team responds to their interim coach, the way they responded to Udoka last year. It's still early. Brooklyn is a train wreck, as I predicted. So they might let them through the back door. Chicago is doing exactly what I thought they'll do. They'll be mediocre. The team that's playing beneath themselves right now, that's letting Boston sneak through the back door, is Philly. Philly's not looking as strong as they that we all thought they would be, but it's all right. Still early.
Man, it is still early, man. Claude Bishop was popping, man. You here rocking with us early, so you finna get a lot of this talk. First of all, and then I have to address some home cooking, man. I definitely gotta address some home business on air. G, you way past due for your corner time, man. You way past. I know you sick. You were sick and you just got back, but you way past due for your corner time. There's some bets that I want to make, but I'm not making them until G get his corner time out the way. So you got till next week. I'm putting you on it. You got till next week to get your corner time in. I'm not even going to hold you to the full 15 minutes. Just do your corner time.
I don't know 15 minutes. I owe 5 minutes because I done paid corner time. Episode 47, minute 14 and 21 all the way to the end. I got it earmarked, bro. I done paid some corner time. I owe 5 minutes.
You done paid some corner time. You still owe one bet, and one bet equals to 15 minutes of corner time. Listen, I'll give you 5 minutes. You just going to have to do your corner time. You're going to have to do your corner time. Know-it-all fans.
Why don't you bet? Why don't you still should bet? I mean, I'm going to pay my corner time. You still
let me ask you a question. Hey, Tate, are you betting with somebody who don't pay their bets?
No.
Not me.
I want to see you pay me first. No interest.
Right. I mean, what sense does that make, G? I'm not betting you.
And if they go triple or nothing, I mean, you might be, might be able to talk me into it.
Nah, G won't talk me. G's a talented talker. He won't talk me into that though. Won't happen. Listen, man, a lot of stuff going on in football. We're gonna go ahead and start with the Eagles. Eagles took care of business. The Seagulls took care of business on Thursday night. They handled their business. They remain undefeated. Anybody have anything to say about the Seagulls win?
Yeah, you biased.
One thing.
With your conversation, bro. You biased.
One thing. Are you intentionally adding that S to the top of that word?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Seagulls. Okay. Yes, right. Absolutely. Anybody have anything to add to that win?
Yeah, go ahead, Pay. Go ahead, man.
They didn't cover, as I think most people thought they wouldn't, because that was a ridiculous line. However, so I mean, the only thing you could say about the Eagles is maybe they aren't they're not the most dominant number one seed, but they are good. I mean, that's about it. That's all you can say about them. I mean, they got weapons all over the field.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I concur. I believe that right now they're playing some good football. I think, Buffalo, outside of what they did today, and we're going to talk about that, the Eagles, the Seagulls may be playing the best. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So they went out and they took care of business. Now, the Texans will surprisingly look good. That's a young team who, and I got to give this to G. G was remarking about their running back early. He was saying something about their running back early, and I got to give it to him. And he's definitely showed up, man. He definitely showed up. Youngster's going to be a fixture in the league for years to come. And we had the Colts and the Evil Empire. I definitely had to go on Tate's side of the moon and side with the Emperor on this one for this game. The Patriots put up points, man, 26-3, man. I don't think we really need to say anything about this game because the Colts are not good. Jonathan Taylor was out. Definitely they traded away Naeem Hines. I mean, they kind of put themselves in a bad place. I don't know if they're just putting up, but let's talk about this next game. Packers and the Lions. Packers, what is going on, Pay, with Aaron Rodgers? What's going on?
You could have got
Is
more
Aaron
traction
Rodgers
out of
done?
You could have got more traction out of that last game than this one. This game was horrible. Aaron Rodgers, I don't know if I want to say he's done, but he's damn near close. I mean, he's rounding the corner, he's looking for parking spots on that Dunn Avenue. It's not. I mean, him and his receivers aren't. They aren't meshed up right now, and it's that excuse only goes so far. It's almost week 10, and they still ain't on the same page. I got to put that on leadership. And who's the leader of that team? A-Rod. So I mean, like I said, he's circling looking for parking space on Dunn Avenue.
Yeah. Tate, what you think, man? First, before I address that, Claude Bishop said the Eagles could go 17-0 because their schedule is light. They could, but I'm going to tell you, the way the NFL is going, they could also lose about 3 games before they even get to the end of the season. But Tate, talk to me, man. How'd you feel about this Packers game, man?
Hey, in our week 9 pick 'em, who picked the Lions?
You did. Detroit versus everybody. You always do it. It worked out for you this time.
You said I always do. I finally hit one. But nah, man. I mean, it happened. I expected it to be a little bit more high scoring than it was, but I expected Detroit to win. Aaron Rodgers just not playing good, man. He just threw two interceptions in the red. He threw 3 interceptions in the red zone, but 2 of them was in the end zone. In the end zone. I mean, he complaining about his receivers, man. They got Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. They need to just run the ball more and keep that defense off the field and try and play defense in spurts. I mean, I don't know. He done went 13-3 every season he didn't coach, but I don't know if what's their coach name?
You would ask me. Now, I see his face, but I can't remember. But anyway, move on.
Yeah, I don't know if he's as good a coach as we thought he was these past 3 years. I mean, going 13-3 every year is a good coaching record, but they can't win the playoff game this year. They can't win hardly no games. They lost 5 games in a row. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers ever lost 5 games in a row.
Yeah, I think they'll play better next week. Everybody gives the Cowboys their best shot. I think he'll play better. I think he'll look a little bit like Aaron Rodgers next week. But G, what do you think about that, man? What did you think about this Packer game?
Dumpster fire. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers are dumpster fire. They're looking at the top 5, between the top 5 and top 10 pick, and they might as well go ahead and move up off of Aaron Rodgers. They're not going to get it together no time soon. And I don't blame. I blame Aaron Rodgers. I blame
Matt LaFleur.
I blame Aaron Rodgers. I blame Matt LaFleur. But I blame their general manager, man. What team has Aaron Rodgers in the prime of his career for 4 years in a row and never picks a first-round draft pick wide receiver to help him? They didn't do it for 4 or 5 years in a row. That's their own fault. They didn't pick anything to get him weapons around him, and they banked on the fact that Devontae Adams was going to give him a hometown discount and stay in Green Bay. It's their own fault. So good to them. They're good to be losing, and I think they're going to have to clean house next year to even get back close to being a 500 ball club because they are horrible.
I'm going to tell you that they're what, 4 games back? No, I think they're 4 games back. I think it's time to move on and start Jordan Love. I mean, honestly, any other franchise would. I mean,
man, they pay Aaron Rodgers $50 million a year. They ain't finna play Jordan Love.
Exactly.
You gotta move on, bro. I mean, at some point, you gotta move on, man. You gotta.
After this year, they can move on if they trade him, but they ain't finna be paying him $50 million a year.
Cheddar Bob, they shot themselves in the foot. They gave him all that money.
That's right.
I mean, they gave him all that money. They drafted a first round quarterback. And they ain't put no weapons around nobody. They let this old quarterback not come to OTAs, not develop some rapport with none of these mid receivers. So yeah, they did it to themselves.
That's right.
And we're gonna get back on Aaron Rodgers here lately when we start talking about the Kyrie issue, because we're definitely gonna hit on it. The Chargers beat the Falcons in Atlanta 20-17 far game, man. And I think the Chargers, without their best two weapons, Allen was out, Mike Williams was out, still showed up to the party, man. They still showed up to the party. What is it? Is Mariota just this bad, man, to where he can't get the ball to Kyle Pitts? I don't understand. Gee, help me with this, man. Like, I mean, for real, is Mariota this bad?
Marcus Mariota is the same quarterback he was playing for the Oregon Ducks. Ain't nothing changed. He can't. To be honest, ladies and gentlemen, Marcus Mariota can't read a defense. He's got one read, possibly a second read, but most of the time, if he doesn't look in that first receiver, he's gonna pull it and run. Marcus Mariota cannot. If you come up with a defensive scheme that's complex and you sit in cover 3 or cover 4 at some points, and he's not seeing cover 0 or cover 1, Marcus Mariota can't read a defense. And that's why they can't win, because you're not going to hit a Kyle Pitts guy who you got to move around, put him in the seam, put him outside, get him on a cross route, get him on a turnaround dig route. That ain't enough time because it's in Marcus Mariota's blood to pull it and run. So that's why he can't hit Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, I think you might be on to something on that one, G. First read guy and then pull down and run. But I mean, he's been in the league for too long.
That's what Arthur Smith offense is predicated on. I mean, when he coached at his success to go to Atlanta, he had success in Tennessee with Ryan Tannehill. That was his guy. Tannehill's the same guy as Marcus Mariota. They're not going to beat you with their arm. They're going to manage the game. They're going to get you some running yards. They might make a couple throws a game. Yeah. I mean, the reason they lost today, though, I don't think was because of Tannehill, but I'm like you, Mont. Can you please get to Kyle Pitts because he's my tight end on my fantasy team?
Please. I need something from Pitts, man. The surprise of the day, man, the Bills versus the Jets, man. The Jets, Jets, beat the Bills today 20-17. I watched most of that game, man. The Jets are gritty, man. The Jets are gritty, and it wasn't just a rookie running back. It wasn't just Breece Hall. They got some dogs back there in the bullpen that they can throw at you. They traded and got one from Jacksonville, of course, and then they still got number 32 Carter. I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. Hey, and Garrett Wilson, Texas product, Ohio State product, showed up. He showed up today, man. And I mean, hey, I could just say it to Jets. Now I will say, Sauce Gardner got away with one in the end. That was pass interference. He wasn't looking back for the ball. He broke it up from Diggs, but he got away with one. But hey, I mean, that's the league. I hate to say it, man. The referees this year, Sean, I wish I had just signed. The referees this year have definitely been dumpster fire. All throughout the league. Throughout the league.
Now, so if Josh Allen, first of all, let me say this. I've been saying the Jets was going to be good for a long time. Even when we did the preseason show, I said the Jets was going to make the playoffs.
You called
number one. And number two is if you need the ref to bail you out to win a game, you ain't playing good football. The Jets beat them at their own game.
No,
they ran the ball down their throat and they played defense. That's how you beat the Buffalo Bills.
Take nothing from them. They beat them. You run the ball down their throat. And you just play defense, keep everything in front of you, and that's what they did, and they beat them. They definitely beat them. And Sauce Gardner had an interception, and then Josh Allen will turn the ball over. He's not one of those quarterbacks that will protect it. He'll throw the ball and turn it over. And if you can beat him in the turnover battle and slow the game down a little bit and keep it from being a track meet, you can beat the Buffalo Bills. But that was definitely a surprise today. Vikings versus the Commanders. Hey, did you get a chance to see any of this game, man, when the Vikings going at the Commanders?
I watched the Commanders blow that lead. Yeah, I did. They looked good while they was doing it, though. Love them jerseys. But the thing I take away from that game is I thought that the Commanders would win it because, I don't think the Vikings are all that good. And considering their upcoming schedule for the next month, I thought they was going to overlook the Commanders and end them getting popped in the mouth. It almost came true, but the Commanders are who they are as they've been for the last decade. They can't get right. So obviously they blew a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter and let a team that ain't that good beat them. Well, shout out, man. Take nothing away from Minnesota. They kept going. They kept plugging away, and they got the W. But all the BS ends now. They looking at a 0-3, 0-4 month coming up soon.
Yeah, they got some hard competition coming. Definitely. Hawkinson looked good in that offense, but they made Dalvin Cook just as quiet as a church mouse peeing on cotton. It was definitely one of them things where he was a non-factor except that touchdown that he caught in the end zone. Tate, what'd you think about this? Being that you up there in DC, what'd you think about this game? I know they made y'all watch this one.
Yeah, man, I don't watch. That's why I got my streaming service, man, and my red zone. I don't watch no Commander games. But I did see they was up 17-7 in the fourth quarter, and I had put in our chat that, man, Carson Wentz about to lose a job again. And then right after I said that, Taylor Heineke threw that interception in the fourth quarter that really cost him.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead, Pete.
That really ain't his job no more anyway. Tyler Heineke can do whatever he wants. Carson Wentz, no one really wants to be stuck to him for, as their guy. So, because he ain't winner guy, he's just a guy. So I think, all things considered, F1 McLaurin looks better with Heineke. They have a rapport. They've done work in the past. So if you want to at least put some butts in the seats and sell some tickets, keep Heineke out there. At least you can put some points on the board. Wentz, what you gonna do with Wentz? Just make everybody mad.
I said Wentz lost his job again. That's what I said.
It's over. I'm saying
he lost his job in Philly to Nick Foles. Then he went to Indianapolis. He didn't lose his job. They just got rid of him. They fired him.
They kicked him out.
And then he's here and he get hurt again. And Heineke come in and play better, even though
and I'm saying they were hoping he got hurt because they wanted to put the other boy in anyway. Because who cares about Carson Wentz? He's about a Mitch right now. Just give him a clipboard.
It's something about that number 2 overall pick. When you pick a quarterback, it's a jinx because Mitch is number 2 overall. Carson Wentz is number 2 overall. Ryan Leaf was number 2 overall. It's a whole bunch of bad number 2 overalls.
Wasn't RG3 number 2 overall too?
He was too.
Yeah.
He should have been,
well,
RG3 should have panned down.
Did him. RG3 wasn't a back. He just injuries.
Man, Ma was gonna say that because RG3, where he from? Let's hear where he from.
No, he was good. RG3 was cool.
He had a good rookie year. What did he ever do after that?
He was hurt.
He got hurt.
Tom Brady hurt his knee and was out for a whole season. Did he come back look like RG3?
Oh man,
here we go. And Tom Brady was also he was also a student of the evil empire. So it's that thing there. But the whooping stick came out today. The Bengals. I have never seen one player get 55 fantasy points in my fantasy life.
59 in my league, and I played against him.
In my fantasy life, I've never seen a player get 55 fantasy points. Joe Mixon had 55 fantasy points today. That is ridiculous. The Bengals beat the Panthers 42-21. Wow. Let's talk about this, man. Hey, I'm gonna let you open it up, and then I'm gonna throw it to G. Hey, man, what happened? What happened in this game? To where he had 31 at halftime. What happened in this game, man?
The Bengals had 35 points at halftime, and the Panthers had 32 yards. That sums it up right there. But I don't know what got into Mixon. I don't know what they saw, as they was, pulling up the getting the game plan together and made them think that, yeah, you know what, Mixon can go off this game. I don't know what they saw. Mixon ain't showed nothing like this coming into this season. Into this Sunday. But whatever they saw, I'm glad they saw it because now Carolina can, revert back to, they can get them delusions of grandeur out their head and, all right, look, we're the Panthers. Let's go focus on the draft. Let's stop all this winning stuff. Let's stop all this try hard. Let's go focus on that draft.
You're pretty much right. I gotta tell you, man. G, you got a fan base that is definitely happy to see you back. Bobby Compton said, good to have you back. He also said Jalen Hurts is real. And then he said the Lions defense played solid, but golf is terrible. I can't say the word he said on that one.
CJ Stroud don't win too much, Bob.
And he definitely Ben Lampin said it's good to have you back as well. And he said that the Jets are real. I mean, honestly, those are our Facebook comments. Thank you guys for watching on Facebook. Honestly, when it comes down to it, man, I'm gonna be real with you. That when you jump out to those type of leagues, man, you just got to take advantage of it. But G, tell me what you saw in this Bengals game, man. What had you impressed with the Bengals in this game?
Nothing. They were supposed to mop Carolina. You know, Carolina is not a good team, and Payday was absolutely right. It wasn't even supposed to be close. They've been having delusions of grandeur for the last couple of weeks because they think that PJ Walker is the save-all, do-all for the franchise. But there's a reason why he was the third-team quarterback behind trash Baker Mayfield and the kid from the Jets. He ain't no good. And that showed real quick, fast, in a hurry. And it also showed that the Carolina Panthers have absolutely no defensive line because the Cincinnati Bengals ran the exact same play over and over and over again. And every time I looked up, Joe Mixon was picking up 20, picking up 22, picking up 25, picking up 36. They kept running the same play. So in the NFL, this is how it works. I'm gonna run the same play till you show me you can stop it. And that's exactly what they did, and that's how they beat the brakes shoes off the Carolina Panthers.
It's PJ Walker, right?
Yeah, PJ Walker.
He's not a bad quarterback. I think he may be their future, but they're gonna have to put some pieces around him, man.
Future?
No, bro.
Hey, Chuba Hubbard was injured.
No, bro.
Chuba Hubbard was out.
They're gonna draft Bryce Young. The Carolina Panthers is gonna draft Bryce Young, man. Go ahead, Tate.
PJ Walker. That's what he did today. Joe Mixon in my league had 49 at halftime.
Correct.
And the only other non-quarterback I've seen score that much is a few years back. Jamal Charles had one of them crazy kind of games.
Oh yeah.
For the Kansas City Chiefs.
But that's so long ago.
That's probably like 2014 or something.
Oh God.
But I play him that night too.
You don't remember Adrian Peterson during his MVP year? He had a couple of them 40-pointers.
This is 60, Pay.
It was almost 60
59.1 in my league. That's what I got put up on my head.
And they pulled him in the third quarter. That's the whole killer part. He didn't play in the fourth quarter. He didn't play in the fourth. Him or Joe Burrow didn't play in the fourth.
Couldn't have happened to a better fantasy team.
Next game we had the Raiders.
Hey, I don't like you, man.
Next game we had the Raiders versus the Jags. Man, listen. The Jaguars are, they're just, sometime, man. Sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they want to win, sometimes they want to lose. It just depends. Today they wanted to win. But the Raiders spotted them. They spotted the Raiders 17 points. I don't understand how the Raiders are just bad, man. Devontae Adams had a great game today. He's another one who had 40 points today in fantasy football. But heck, if you can't run the ball, you can't sit on top of a lead. And they could not run the ball today, man. And the Jaguars and ETN acted donkeys on them today, man. Tate, talk to me about this game, man.
Well, I know you picked the Raiders. Me and Big G picked the Jags, so we got that. But the Jaguars just got better talent. The Raiders is a good team. I think we thought coming in the Raiders would fight for third place in the AFC West. Well, they're gonna be in the cellar of that division. Derek Carr is not playing well. He just forced the ball to Devontae Adams all. That's how Devontae had a good game because Derek Carr kept forcing him the ball, which is good. I guess they got 150-yard production and 2 touchdowns out of it, but it's not a winning formula. They missing Darren Waller. Darren Waller has been there.
Back?
What's
Is
that?
He out for the season?
I don't think he was questionable up to game time today. Then they ruled him out, so he could have been back today. But I always root against it. I did not used to dislike the Raiders, but this guy that I deal with every day is a Raiders fan. Dude look like the people in the black hole at the Raider games. He wear his mask. He got Raider pajamas he wore one morning. Like, man, what is you doing? I hate the Raiders now because of him. And I won $75 from him this week because of that too.
Ain't nothing like sticking them Raider boys, man. Ain't nothing like
man,
it, man.
It's unbelievable that you could spot a team that many points and then just give up the ghost. I don't get it.
Let me tell you, that was Trevor Lawrence's best game as a pro.
He played well today.
Yeah, so this is a game I know this near and dear to Pay's heart. And I gotta ask, I'm gonna start off with him. I'm gonna ask him. I mean, the Bears and the Dolphins today. The Dolphins won 35-32. Let me ask you a question, Pay. You know, and shout out to B-Dirt, by the way. I know you are ecstatic, you know, that your Bengals won today. But let me ask you a question. Justin Fields, is he starting to feel it? Is he coming alive? I mean, starting from that Cowboy game today, I mean, what's going on with Justin Fields?
As Scotty Miller drops a game-winning touchdown. Justin Fields has figured it out. We don't have that offensive personnel and that he doesn't have the trust in his receiver core yet.
You got Chase Claypool coming though, baby.
Okay, let's move past that. He doesn't have it yet to just throw it up there and just hope somebody catches it. But he's figured out, the game has slowed down for him a little bit. He doesn't sit in the pocket and just hold the ball and wait for the sack to come to him. Now he's reading the field, and now he's turning that read into and reading blocks and finding lanes and just taking off. He's an athlete. We've been waiting for this since he drafted. Like, hey, we drafted an athlete, I thought. Why is this guy sitting in the pocket and getting, waiting on blocks? I mean, waiting on sacks. Just go out there and make plays. That's what athletes do. And he's grown into that part. So I'm happy. I'm ecstatic. I feel like we've got a quarterback finally. I've never said that in my life. Truth be told, I mistakenly said it once before. And it took me one game to realize that was a mistake.
Who was you talking about then?
Cutler.
Okay.
Jay Cutler.
He threw 4 picks his first game as a Bear.
Well, so let me say this. Claude Bishop said your new name is Pay the Jinx because you called that Penn State was going to lose both games to OSU and Michigan. I think he called good money. Claude, I think he called good money. He saw what he said, and it said what he saw.
And Penn State do typically lose all them games, man.
Hey, man.
And so Justin,
if LeVar Arrington ain't there, I don't trust him.
Wow. Hey, so Justin Fields' numbers for today, you guys: 17 for 28, 123 through the air, and 3 tutties. And he also rushed 15 times for 178 for 1 tutty. That's just ridiculous. He monstered up, but I mean, the Dolphins found a way to win the game. And what does that say about Tua, man? I mean, what are we saying on the other side of the field? Tua went 302 for 3 tutties today. Not much on the rushing game, but Tyreek Hill had 143 again. You know what I'm saying? And he's just unbelievable. Jalen Waddle had a touch, 5 for 85. Those guys, man, they start getting behind your DBs. It's a wrap. You might as well forget it. So talk to me about this game, G. Talk to me about this game a little bit.
The Chicago Bears, I'm calling it right now, a year in advance. They're one solid draft away from being the best team in the NFC North. They're one solid draft. If they have a solid draft this next year, because they got a first round, they got a second round. Even though they traded Claypool, they got their great second round to play with it. They're one solid draft and some free agents away from being the best team in that division because they have the best quarterback in that division. By far, they have the best quarterback. And that makes all the difference in the world when you have the best quarterback. They're one solid draft away from being the best team in that division. For real.
Wow. Okay. All right. Tate, I see you coming to the microphone. You had something to say. Go ahead and get it out.
Nah, man, just that I mean, the game was indicative of the Bears' losses on defense, man. You know, I mean, that's what it was. I don't think Miami and Tua is all that. I mean, Tua is good. He got them weapons. He can hit them, but the Steelers showed you can contain them. You contain them. You don't got to let them put all them points up and all them yards up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree with G that Justin Fields is soon to be the best quarterback in the division. Chicago's future is trending upward, but it could be another Ohio State quarterback in the division next year that's going to make it real tough. Because Detroit ain't far off either.
Thomas said they would be good if they had good players, good take.
Hey, the issue is they don't have.
In other words, every team would be good if they had good players.
That is a controversial pick. That's a controversial take, buddy.
Hey man, their best player is Darnell Mooney. Outside of Justin Fields, Darnell Mooney. That's their best player.
You know what? I forgot. We traded our other best players. My bad.
Their best player is Darnell Mooney. So if you give him other pieces and put him around him, he's going to be real good because he's already shown he can run it by himself. He doesn't have a lot of help, man.
Man, Eddie Jackson's our second best player, man. You know, put him back up there.
No,
there's no. I disagree. I do not want to say my favorite team. Their second best player is Darnell Mooney. I don't want to say
it. hey, I grew up with Darnell Mooney's mama. Darnell Mooney a beast.
Sure is.
Yeah. Here we go. Seahawks and the Cardinals. AZ. This takes forever pick. This is forever crush on the Pick'em show. The Seahawks are up 31-21 right now, and I'm gonna tell you, I think the rookie of the year this year is Kenneth Walker. I think Kenneth Walker is going to be our rookie of the year. 26 carries, 109 yards, 2 tutties today. Just going and just game breakers on us. And Geno Smith,
he wins it by default, Mom, because the rookie of the year would have been Breece Hall. But keep it moving. He wins.
No, that's the AFC rookie of the year. Seahawks in the NFC.
Yeah,
I'm saying the overall rookie of the year offensively, I think is Kenneth Walker. That's our guy. I think. If you look at him, he's playing really, really good and consistent.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Go ahead.
I got Geno Smith in my fantasy league as my quarterback. I see he scored 30 points, which is really good for me in my other league. Yeah. But what did Cooper Kupp do? Cooper Kupp killed me.
Yeah. Cooper Kupp is killing. I'm watching him right now. He's the only player on that team.
Cooper Kupp started out. He got a touchdown. He got like a 70-yard touchdown today.
Yeah.
Right now, he has 7 catches for 120 yards in the tutty.
Woo, out there lighting them up like a Christmas tree.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go that far, man.
Well, I mean, he has the only long touchdown in the game. It's 13-9. It's, you know.
Two of those catches accounted for like maybe 100 yards. So,
but we'll talk about that in a minute, man. But the Seahawks, Geno Smith, Tate. Yeah, I mean, you and G have accurately hit certain players, man. And you know, ever since the butt squeezing incident with Geno, you've been saying he ain't a bad quarterback. And guess what? He ain't been a bad quarterback. He's been showing up in these games. He's starting to find the other wide receiver who I wish we would have got. What's his name, G? You know who I'm talking about.
Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, Lockett. Like he's starting to find Lockett, and that's warming it up. That's getting them in the mix for real. But meanwhile, that's final 31-21. Seattle has won that game. I'm sorry you lost on that one. And the Rams right now with 54 seconds left have the ball, and it looks well.
They're gonna
punt. Tampa Bay has the ball, first and 10 on their 40.
Yeah, we got to score.
54 seconds left. So
Brady ain't got the magic no more, bro. It's over with, man. It's over.
Well, this game, they should already have the lead. You know,
Claude said that comeback player of the year has to be Geno Smith. Agreed.
Absolutely.
That's a good take.
Totally agree, Claude. Totally agree, without a shadow of a doubt. But we'll see what old Goat does. You know, Tate called him Goat Milk on the Pick'em show. We'll see what old Goat Milk does.
Tate, you called him Goat Milk?
Called him Goat Milk, man.
Oh wow!
Him Goat Milk. Listen, yesterday we had Tennessee getting throttled by Georgia. How we feel about that? How do we feel about in college football Tennessee getting throttled by Georgia? G, I'm gonna let you start it off because Tennessee was your SEC crush, and how do you feel about that, man?
It wasn't no throttling. Georgia just played. Georgia beat them because they have athletes that won't let Tennessee's receivers get behind them. Georgia played single high, zero coverage, and cover one the whole freaking game. They played press on the outsides, single high or cover zero, and they had 6 and 7 guys in the box putting pressure on Hooker the whole game. That's how you beat them, because they can line up athlete for athlete on the outside and keep everything like, okay, you got to make a dynamic play to beat us. But they didn't really like run away with the game. And I think if they played again on a neutral field, it might be a different outcome. However, now Georgia's put themselves in the driver's seat to be the SEC East representation. As long as they can get through, I think they'll blow South Carolina out. I think they're going to pop Kentucky, and then they'll win the last game against the rambling record Georgia Tech. So it looks like the Georgia Bulldogs will represent the SEC East.
I agree with your take, G. I think, but I agree with your take for the most part. I still think that Tennessee took to the woodshed yesterday. I will say this is 1st and 10.
Hold on. Go, things are happening. Just
it's 2nd and 3 at the Rams 7 with 16 seconds left.
They're at the 1. It's 1st and goal at the 1 with 16 seconds.
What score?
13-9. 13-9.
Oh yes. Yeah, go about to do it again.
It's 1st and goal at the 1.
Goat milk. Milk.
They got a pass. They got a controversial pass interference call to move the ball to the 1, man.
Tom drove that ball down there before that pass. Don't take nothing away from him. That was
1st and goal at the 1. So keep an eye on that. Interrupt us and let us know where that is, Pay.
I ain't got to interrupt. It's touchdown. It's touchdown, Tampa. Game over.
Game over.
Magic. Goat things are happening.
Goat milk. Bobby Compton said the Bears are losing next week. and he said, Pay, make sure you know that. And then he also said, great show. I appreciate that, man.
They must play Detroit next week.
Yeah, Valerie Cherry said, "Go Buccaneers." Said, "Go Bucks."
That cherry had a hyphen in it, bro.
Valerie Cherry Tate. Excuse me. My bad. I didn't see it. I'm moving. I'm keeping us moving. So yesterday, we also had Alabama get beat yesterday. Good game, man. I'm gonna tell you something. Bryce Young seems to always get out of stuff, man. He always he has a rabbit's foot in his pocket.
When that happened, I thought Alabama was a great win.
Yeah, he has a rabbit's foot in his pocket for real. So I'll let you talk about this one, Pay, man. What did you think about that Alabama game?
Well, you know what, man. Alabama, they didn't have it. They didn't have it when they on the initial kickoff. They just didn't have it. Diggs was, I believe that's his name. I might be, mispronouncing his name. But
Riggs, I think the running back is Riggs.
Yeah, Riggs, yeah. He was like their best player. He was their only good player. Bryce didn't look too hot. The defense was, on their back heels most of the game. So, you can tell from opening jump that LSU was going to take this from them.
Hey, man, I'm going to have to start deboing me some questions because Mod ain't shooting nothing my way.
I got one coming. I
definitely got to take on this one, though, because
go ahead. I
won money on LSU. I picked LSU, and then that wasn't a popular pick. Pay and tell you on our pick. I'm on the BTSC. I picked Alabama. I picked Notre Dame. They whooped tail. And I also picked Tennessee, though, so I didn't hit all three. But I knew LSU could compete because I liked the kid Jaden Daniel, the transfer from Arizona State. He left there. He was a playmaker there. And now with all the other playmakers and all the other 5-star talent that LSU has, it just elevates his game to another level. He's the best rushing quarterback in college football, minus sack yardage. And he's just a playmaker. I mean, that run he got in overtime, he just You see how silky smooth he glided to the end zone?
Jason Taylor's son had a key block in that the running back had a key block, but that run was for real. It was a great run.
Yeah. So I liked LSU yesterday over Alabama. I'm glad Alabama lost. Like you call the Patriots the evil empire. Well, that's the evil empire South. That damn Belichick and Saban is boys like that.
As his apprentice.
Before you move on, I got to put up a sign I've been waiting to put up for 2 years, man. For 2 long years, I've been waiting to put the sign up, man. Saban sucks. Get him out of here. Get them Alabama Crimson Tide up out of here, man. Get them out of here. They ain't going to the playoff. Get them out of here. For all you Alabama fans that's been talking all that mess for all these years, you're not going to the freaking playoffs. You suck. Get out of here.
Big G.
Man.
Don't they play Ole Miss next week?
Next week they play.
That could be another L.
Another L dog.
It could be another L, but look here, Tate. I gotta hear your take on this one, man. The team to the north. I'm not even gonna talk to G about this because he don't like being realistic. Team to the north started out real shaky this last game. And then they came on, their running attack, of course, came on. How do you feel about them right now? Because they're going to go play Illinois this next week, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
And it's too bad Illinois lost. But they looked good in the second half. They were 17-14 at halftime. And I think we have to worry because what they do and what Northwestern showed against us, we look vulnerable to that style. Right. I mean, come this Saturday after Thanksgiving, I believe it's the 26th, the Ohio State defense just got to come in and just take on the challenge and suck it up because they're gonna be tested, man. Because I mean, they could have put some of that to bed if they just smashed Northwestern. But Northwestern was able to be physical and run the ball. The elements became involved. That weather was messed up. And that's exactly what Michigan did to us last year in the snow.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, we have to be worried.
So do you think that I know that the running game is vicious. But do you think that – because one of the things that I've seen where y'all are susceptible to is y'all defensive backs. So do you think – I don't think their wide receivers are good enough I believe that y'all can make them one-dimensional and beat the game and beat them in that game. But do you think that their wide receivers are good enough to beat y'all in one-on-one coverage? Because over the top, because they're gonna have to face man-to-man to keep people in the box to stop the run.
Yeah, I think I don't think that their passing game it doesn't scare me. So, you know, I don't have a problem playing. They had the one good receiver, Bell, and his name Bell.
Yeah,
he's a really good receiver. But I mean, we went through the same thing with Penn State. They had one receiver that killed us. I don't remember who it was, but you know.
But that's what I've been telling G all this time. That y'all only one weakness to me is the defensive backfield. But I don't think that Michigan receivers are good enough to threaten you guys.
We got 5-star talent in the defensive backfield. They just young. That's the only thing. They just young. But what we have to do is come out and get up. We have to make them play from behind. If we got them playing from behind where they got to pass the ball, we can turn our pass rush loose and not worry about the run as much, we'll be in a good place.
I think so too. TCU.
Hold on. Mark it on your calendars. The Buckeyes will be full strength when they play Michigan. Jackson Smith and Juka, Trayon Henderson probably won't play the next 2 games. But when they play Michigan, they're going to be full strength. And I'm telling you right now, Ryan Day is not calling off the dogs. If they're up 50-14, he's still going to try to score.
You see why I have to ask you?
Ryan Day
ask you questions.
Ryan Day took it personal, bro.
You see why I have to ask you questions, Tate? Because I have to get away from him.
It don't matter.
When we talk about the Buckeyes, man.
We're going to run it on them boys this year. We running it up on them boys.
Hey, go ahead. What was you going to say?
I don't know where 50-14.
If it's 50-14, he's still trying to score. He's going to take it.
That's
personal,
fine,
bro.
but I mean, he can want to score when the game is 50-14. It ain't going to get there.
Okay. Trust when I'm telling you, that game is also for the Heisman Trophy. Crum or C.J. Stroud is going to win the Heisman on that game. Mark your words. And I keep saying it, and I'm going to keep on saying it. If they're 2-3 coming into that week and that game's close, both of those teams are going to the playoffs.
Oh, here you go. That's why you see why I was trying to get off of this, because here you go with his theories. TCU is at number 4, and if they win out, they're definitely getting into the playoffs.
Run down the top 10, Mark.
All right, so we got Georgia at number 1, Ohio State number 2, Michigan number 3. TCU is now number 4. Tennessee is number 5 at 8-1.
You called that.
Yeah,
but that's not the college football playoff thing.
It's
that's
not.
Okay,
They're still
going
to be up there. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, they're still going to be up there. G, they're not going to drop them that low.
They're going to be 7. Keep it going. They're going to be 7.
They're not going to be 7. Come on, G. Come on.
Okay.
Please,
they're going to be 7. Oregon will be 6, and Ole Miss will be. Okay. Oregon will be 5, and Ole Miss will be 6.
All right. So Tennessee's number 5. Oregon's number 6. LSU jumped to number 7. USC is at number 8 at 8-1. UCLA is number 9 at 8-1. Don't they play each other coming up?
2 weeks.
Yeah, they do. That's gonna be a good one too.
Definitely. Alabama is number 10 at 7-2. Ole Miss is number 11. So that game this week is going to be a barn burner. Clemson, who I told y'all was pretenders, y'all. Well, I told you they were pretenders.
I said Notre Dame was gonna beat them. Who didn't say it's pretenders?
Yeah, but I said they was going to lose. I said they were going to lose. They're not that good. Definitely. And in Utah at number 13, 7-2. Penn State, number 14, 7-2. Claude, I know you're happy to hear that. UNC is 8-1. Tulane, who's a surprise in here at 16, is 8-1. NC State is 7-2. Texas jumped up to 6-3 after a big win against Kansas State. Liberty is ranked 8-1. Wow. Notre Dame at number 2.
But they got that quarterback that transferred from Baylor.
Correct.
Oh, that makes sense now.
Yeah, that
makes sense now. For real. Notre Dame at 20. Illinois is at 21, 7-2. UCF is at 22. Kansas State's 23. Washington is 24. Florida State is 25. And that brings out your NCAA coach AP top 25 coaches poll. Definitely I'd be remiss to not talk about, the Phillies lost. My man G was really happy for them to be there. They played a good game. It was a good series. Astros bullpen is just loaded. I mean, there's nothing you can say about a bullpen that came in and did their thing. Thomas, I know you don't want to hear this, and I know you're not such a big Astros fan, but congrats to Dusty Baker. Pena was on a tear. Pena did his thing, and like I said, pitching was everything during this series. Tate, did you get an opportunity to watch some of the World Series?
Yeah, I was watching that, flipping back and forth from that, and I'm so skilled, man. When I'm watching TV, man, I turn to one game I want to watch, and I turn to another game I want to watch. So then when the football game go to commercial, I pause it, and I watch the baseball game till it go to commercial, and I pause it, and I come back to the football game from the commercial and fast forward to the commercial, and I watch it. So I got a system with this thing, man. You know what I mean? But Jeremy Pena, man, hey, he the truth, man. Yeah. I mean, he's a 25-year-old rookie, but he looked like the next coming of Derek Jeter.
Yeah, he did. He looked
I mean, you know what I mean? Winning, making clutch plays in the playoffs as a young player and being young with an organization that's been really good the past 10 years. I mean, sky's the limit for his future. But like you said, pitching, man, pitching.
Yeah.
I mean, when Alvarez hit that homer in the 6th after Schwarber hit that homer for the Phillies,
yeah,
it's a big difference between a solo shot and a 3-run shot.
A huge difference.
And with that pitching, I was like, oh, they got him.
Yeah, definitely. Damian said, what's up, Damian, by the way? Thanks for watching, man. Dusty Baker, congratulations. Oldest manager to win his first ring. I mean, I was loving some of the stories that you were hearing. He kicked it with Jimi Hendrix, and You know, I mean, Dusty done did some stuff, man. Dusty done did some stuff, and
Dusty
he
been
got
around a long time, man. I remember when I was a little kid, like 8, 9 years old, watching Dusty play for the Dodgers.
Yeah,
with Steve Garvey and them boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the late 70s.
Dusty been around for a while, man.
Tate, he's still on the sidelines with the old school wristbands with his pictures on it.
The long wristbands.
The long wristbands with the bands on it, and still got the same thing. I was like, Dusty ready to go to the plate right now. Dusty said, I'm going to the plate, baby.
Dusty was happy, man. It was good to see. And I'm gonna tell you something. The city of Houston is lit right now. Y'all don't think Houston was? I mean, Scarface was on the field last night. Bun B was on the field last night. Everybody. I mean, Houston was still lit because Jackson State was there this weekend. Dion them took care of business down there at against TSU. So Houston was lit. It was lit, and they had to win it there. And definitely the Phillies play. I'm gonna tell you, Schwarber is scary with the bat in his hands, bro. Schwarber and the other kid, last name starts with a P. What's his name? Oh man, no. For
the Phillies,
he bats third. I forget his name.
Not Bryce Harper.
No, Bryce Harper bat third.
No, Harper. Excuse me. Harper.
Yeah.
Harper and Schwarber with the bats in their hands are scary as heck. I mean,
Bryce Harper's a former MVP.
Correct.
He went, and so did the boy Castellano, the bat behind Harper. He was a Cincinnati Red the past few years.
Yeah,
Cub too.
Yeah,
he was a Cub. Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you the truth.
We let them both.
I wasn't scared for nobody except when Harper and Schwarber came to. I mean, both of them boys look like John Henry. They look like they finna just come up here and knock the cover off the ball.
They the Phillies version of what the Yankees got.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
Definitely.
Wholeheartedly agree.
Definitely. So let's switch gears, you guys, for the last. Let's get on this NBA, man. Today I had some family members that was out there watching the Lakers and Cleveland. Who won that game, by the way?
The Cavs won 112-100, man.
Listen.
The Cavs got one loss, bro. Don't be trying to sideswipe the Cavs.
No, I'm not trying to sideswipe, bro. I'm not trying to sideswipe this. I'm trying to point out the obvious. There needs to be a trade that happens, man. There needs to be a trade that happened down there in LA. And I mean, Tate keeps saying that somebody got to want Russ, but bro, I don't think Russ need to be out the door first. I think AD always down needs to go first. Always down, they need to go on and get off of him while he has some type of value.
But
get LeBron some help.
Who will take AD? I mean, ain't nobody going to take AD. I mean, really, from a trade value standpoint.
Indiana gave him the best trade. They got the best trade over there with Indiana.
The Pacers was going to trade Westbrook for Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. They was going to trade for Westbrook. So
I didn't know they were going to trade for Westbrook. I thought that was for AD.
No, that's for Westbrook.
That's the trade they need to make.
But the Lakers got to come up off them 2 first-round picks along with Russ.
Exactly.
Get them off.
Yeah, we'll do it, but the Lakers ain't doing it.
Get them off. Exactly. Get them off, man.
There's nobody that will trade for Anthony Davis in the NBA. He gets hurt too much, man. Nobody's going to trade for that. No, nobody's trading for Russ.
You could make an argument that it would be a fair trade to trade the Nets. Just go ahead and rebuild and trade KD for AD.
Yeah,
and then see what they can get for Kyrie, and then let's see who wants Ben Simmons, and they got all kind of picks and just rebuild with the culture you want.
Yeah.
Hey, Pay, I seen a picture. Speaking of Ben Simmons, I seen a picture of everybody on the Brooklyn Nets team shooting the ball and being passing it. You know what I'm saying? It's horrible, man. I have never seen a player in my life in the NBA who just won't shoot the ball. Like, I mean, I don't know if he just doesn't practice or that scared. What is it? Well, talk to me, Kay. What is it? Why doesn't Ben Simmons shoot the ball? Why is he not a good teammate down here for the Nets?
Well, I don't know about him being a bad teammate. What I want to say it's not PC enough, so I can't go that far. I would just say
What
that
you want to say? Give me say it in a way that ain't offensive. Don't go Kyrie on this though.
no,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go that far. I mean, it would be offensive to my brethren, but I think the thing with Ben is he just doesn't want to be embarrassed, and he just don't have that makeup, mentally. He plays. He's one of those guys that's hooping and is very cognizant of how he looks in the in the crowd, and he know his J ain't up to snuff. He know he kind of like suspect when he trying to take a shot. So he don't want nobody laughing at him, talking about him. So he ain't gonna do it. He gonna do what
He's soft. He's
I mean,
soft.
I wasn't gonna say it. I was gonna say something else, but that's my read on it. Because I mean, just doing what he's comfortable doing, he is an all NBA type talent. But
Hey,
when you turn the oven up, man, you make it hot for him. What's how the saying go? Pressure bust pipes.
Right.
He bust a long time ago.
Can I give you my take?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna name these people. You tell me what they have in common. Ben Simmons, Tristan Thompson, Lamar Odom, Devin Booker, Kanye West, Ray J. What they all got in common?
Kardashians.
You can't say
Kardashians. There you go. There you go. That's my theory.
You could be on to something there.
You get you a Kardashian, it might be all good for a while, but eventually it's going down.
Yeah.
Hey, Reggie Bush just now made it back, bro.
I forgot about Reggie.
Reggie just now made it back. They still got his Heisman and Hop.
This boy running around here in biggie bags.
Yeah, hey man, look, it is what it is. It is what Thomas even said it. Kardashians. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, man, that there's something to it. There's something to it.
Hey, MVP still around the NBA. Giannis is a monster.
But listen, we're about to get to the Eastern Conference records right now. The Bucks are undefeated. The Bucks are undefeated.
9-0.
They're rough.
Yeah, they're 9-0. Cavs are 8-1. Let's see here. That just went down.
Boston 6-3, Atlanta 6-3, Toronto's 5-4, and Chicago's 5-5 at the 6th spot right now. That's your top.
I think I called all them teams making the at least the play-in, right?
Yeah, you did, Pay.
You did.
That wasn't hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, but only I did mess up on Detroit. I did say I think they could be a top 9 team.
Hey,
they ain't there yet.
Detroit got rolled Friday night by Cleveland with no Donovan Mitchell and no Darius Garland.
Hey,
rolled.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. The Cleveland Cavaliers is the best team in the East, even though Milwaukee is
they're the second best team.
Man, look, they done pop. They done pop Boston twice.
Throw the fire up. They have popped Boston twice.
They done pop Boston twice, bro. They done pop
Boston not that because Boston ain't that good.
But they done popped them twice. The Cavaliers. I wouldn't want to play the Cavs. I would not want to play Cleveland, man.
It's still early. early.
I'm telling you.
As of right now, I would agree with you. As of right now, they are the best team in the East.
Yeah.
Well, I still say Milwaukee the best team, and I'm a Cleveland fan, but
Milwaukee don't even have Chris
playing without Chris
back
Middleton. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen, a couple times I looked at him, I haven't seen Joe Ingles out there yet either.
No, he hasn't played. He hasn't played yet. Not as
so we have in the Western Conference, we got the Phoenix Suns surprising 7-2. This is who's I'm surprised. The Utah Jazz is 7-3. Wow, they are balling over here. The Grizz at 6-3, the Trailblazers surprising again at 6-3. Pay didn't even think that they would be up here. Pay with me and Pay were both like, hey man, they need help, and they're coming out playing early. The Nuggets are 6-3. The Mavs are 5-3. Hey man, listen, let's go ahead and say it. Lucas, he's amazing. Luka Doncic is freaking amazing. There's nothing you could say about Luka. He is all that in a bag of chips, bro.
You know who's amazing? You know who's amazing? who's amazing is the Joker. The Joker is who's amazing.
So you're trying to tell me that this start that Luka is off to, that nobody has been off to.
If the MVP was handed out today, the Joker would win it again.
The
Joker.
I want to mute your mic.
He's got 10 straight games with 30+ points. Are you freaking kidding me?
Luka's done it. Luka's been doing it.
No, the Joker.
Luka
the Joker
just did
will win the MVP, bro. The Joker done had 10 straight with 30+, bro. Get up out of here. The Joker is the balling right now. The Joker is unbelievable.
I think right now that Luka will get the MVP if he was voting after 2-3 weeks.
Thank you.
Joker, man.
After 2-3. Luka's been killed. I want to hear Pay, what's your opinion about what Luka's doing right now?
I mean, he's doing what you expect Luka to do. He put up points. You know, you get his stats. You get a few wins here and there. But I mean, don't play defense. You know, I'm not.
Come on, man.
I'm not seeing anything I've never seen before. So I mean,
immediate.
Yesterday.
Listen,
hey, so you know that the Phoenix Suns had a major injury today, man. Cam Johnson tore his meniscus.
That's my boy, Carolina.
That's hurt them bad, man. So they're gonna have to do something about that whole Crowder situation. I think they're gonna offload him. I've heard Crowder to Golden State too, to pick up one of Golden State's wing players to help fill in for Cam.
Crowder to Golden State for Draymond.
I heard a wing player. I heard that they were going to trade for a wing. So I don't know who. You know.
Hey, what was that Lamar Thomas comment, man?
Lamar just said the Cavs' best ball is ahead of him. That's what he said. Definitely. So let's talk about this Kyrie issue. We can't avoid it. This is how we're going to end the show. But so he apologized. Apparently, after watching it, there were some things that he said, that in the video that shouldn't have ever been said, right? But there were some stipulations that were handed out. Anybody got those stipulations up?
Well, he had to donate $500,000 to any anti-hate cause. He had to meet with Joe Tsai, the Brooklyn Nets owner, and they had to get on the same page about what's going on. He had to go to sensitivity training. That's the third one. He had to do.
He had to meet with the head of the Anti-Defamation League. He had to meet
4.
with that person individually. Yeah.
And then as far as that, after that, I'm not too. What's the last two?
I'm not quite sure what the last 2 stipulations was for him, but I know it was Hardy.
Hold on. I'm searching to find them right now. But you guys, here's I'm sorry. Hold on. Thomas said Jokic couldn't have scored 30 and 10 straight. He only averaging 20 a game.
I think that's right. About right. I know Luka won one of him and Wilt Chamberlain scored like 30 plus the first 8 games of the season. That's like 5 assists and 5 boards, something like that.
G get excited sometimes, and you got to check G's stats, man, because he get excited and be saying some stuff.
I hate the Dallas. I hate the Dallas Mavericks. I hate the Houston Rockets, and I hate the San Antonio Spurs. I'm even gonna put false propaganda up on them because I can't stand nobody in Texas. I can't stand them.
But here's something that doesn't get said about Kyrie. Kyrie donated $323,000 to Feed America, partnered with the City Harvest to ensure that 250,000 meals were distributed to New Yorkers. Partnered with Nike to donate 17 pallets of food and masks to Standing Rock Syx tribe.
He gave money to WNBA players too.
Committed $1.5 million to help pay for WNBA players who opted out of the 2020 season.
They killed his Nike shoes. They killed his Nike contract too.
He paid off college tuition for 9 HBCU students from Lincoln University, and he purchased a house for the family of George Floyd, according to the former NBA player Steven Jackson.
Yeah.
Here's my thing.
And they killed his Nike deal too. You know that, right? They pulled his shoe.
They suspended it.
They suspended it. They didn't.
Well, I mean, they were already Nike had already said before the season that they were, it was up in the air if they was going to extend his deal anyway. So
yeah.
But Kyrie's are the most played in basketball shoe that there is right now.
Most popular basketball shoe.
So they're definitely Nike would be cutting off their nose to spite their face.
Well, they already have.
They let them. Yeah, they
Nike not gonna lose nothing. But
But here's the deal. Here's the deal. This is. I want you guys' opinion, and this is my parting shot, and this is everybody's parting shot. I need to hear. Why is it that he's taking the brunt of this whole thing? When we could say that Amazon is a bookstore, or Amazon is a online movie store. We could say that they hold this and they're not responsible for the content that they put up. But why is a person's social media and who just plays basketball? Why are they accountable for the things, and Jeff Bezos isn't accountable for what he has up, and he's not asked to pull Amazon down for 5 days, and he's not asked to pay any retribution? I'm wondering where we're going to draw the line on this sensitivity thing. You know what I mean? It's because we have freedom of speech. We can we're supposed to be able to say and voice our opinions. Where does this thing end? Now, I didn't hear Kanye. Excuse me, not Kanye. Kyrie.
You got them mixed up for the right reasons, though.
Yeah. I didn't hear Kyrie say, I want to all out go out here and kill some folks. I didn't hear him say that. You know what I'm saying? I heard him agree with some principles inside of the actual documentary. He did tweet it. He did take a picture of it. For that, he has to take responsibility. Now, if he said some horrible things, then definitely got to be dealt with for that. But where is the accountability for the people who are putting it up there? Why is it that they can exercise freedom of speech and other people can't? That's my question to you guys. First, before we get into it, Thomas said, I don't see anyone getting upset for Amazon promoting the documentary, having it up. Only upset with Kyrie. Funny how that works. You just said the same thing that I said, Tom. Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it how one person is accountable and nobody else is. So I'll start with you, Tate, and then we'll go to Pay, and then G is going to, of course, give us the hottest take that we've ever heard. So definitely I'm going to go with you, Tate.
Hey, man. Kyrie has a platform. He's an NBA player. He has umpteen million followers. He has to show a level of responsibility because he represents not only himself, he represents the league. It's a lot of different people that watch basketball, that like basketball. Basketball is a global sport now. So he has to just be more careful in what he does. He always gets himself into stuff like this, man. He does it to himself. I'm not saying that he's wrong for saying his opinion on something, but when you say it and you link yourself to something into your 12, 13 million followers you have, that's something that they're gonna make you account for. That's my take on
it. Let's go with you, Pay. Your take, man. How do you feel about this whole thing?
All right. First of all, just for clarity, Jeff Bezos isn't the CEO of Amazon anymore. That's not on him. You can, as the head, not as the creator and the most famous person involved with Amazon, you can lay that at his doorstep. But ultimately, that decision will have to be made by Andy Jakes. So
okay.
just to clear that up.
Why doesn't he take pay? Well, why don't whoever's in control? Why don't they take it down for 5 days and they have to
I agree with you. Amazon shouldn't be profiting off anything that could be considered hate speech. But that's a topic. That's a different topic. You know what I'm saying? This is about Kyrie and what he did, and how his employer, the NBA, is choosing to handle that. Amazon is not. He doesn't have to answer to anybody. They're the biggest e-commerce thing on the planet, and they're only they only have to answer to their consumers, which is us. So that's totally different situation. My thing with the Kyrie thing is if Kyrie wants to believe he's an intellectual and he's a thought leader or anything like that, he has to take responsibility for the stances he takes. No one asked for this, Kyrie. No one was asking for you what you thought about as far as blacks and Hebrews and anything like that. He decided to put that out there, and then when challenged about it, he didn't want to qualify what his position is. He just wanted to go into all the histrionics and do the Kyrie thing. You can't have it both ways. Can't have your cake and eat it too. You want to be smart, so speak on it then. Tell everybody what you think. And if somebody asks you if you have a hateful opinion of a group of people, that's a yes or no question, bro. That's a yes or no question. You're a grown man. You understand that. There is no, you talk, if you talk around that question, you answer, your non-answer is an answer. Your non-answer is an answer. So, okay, that's where all this blowback comes from.
So good answer, Pay. And I love your take. I love your take. Claude Bishop said this. He said, everybody can be anti-black, but as soon as you say something about a certain group, you get banned. And I agree with that first point. He said, P.S. Kanye West is a bona fide idiot. I won't call him a name. Kanye's kind of special. He got some things going on with him. I still feel like he hadn't healed from what happened with his mom. He definitely obviously has some mental things going, but hey, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and that's what freedom of speech is all about. But Pay, again, I you said it's a whole nother issue, but I feel like it's that the issues can't be separated. You know what I'm saying?
Let me go back to that freedom of speech thing. The freedom of speech gives you the right, protects you from imprisonment, from saying what you say. You can say what you say, but that doesn't mean your employer can't. Hey, you know what? That don't really, you can't really be doing all that on our watch. You gotta go do that over there. And Kyrie, with his platform in this political climate, when people are looking for somebody that they look up to embolden them to do some hateful shit.
Everyone is looking for it's this sensitivity thing that we got going on. You can't. I mean, think about it. Archie Bunker and Fred Sanford and George Jefferson would have never existed in this climate ever. They would have never got away with those kind of things. Think about. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong that we would have had All in the Family, Sanford and Son, or the Jeffersons in this climate.
Maybe not, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Because we had to grow. We have to grow from something, right? And I'm not saying that any of them characters were bad, because all of those characters are some of the most indelible TV characters of all time.
Those characters brought light to a lot of issues that were
exactly. But
and they did it in a straightforward way.
That's true. But that's also fiction. You know what I mean? This is not. This is the real world. If you and like I said, I'm gonna go right back to it. In this political climate, you can't be doing that on the platform as big as Kyrie's. People get. That's why they took certain bozos off Twitter, because you can't.
That's why Twitter
out there.
Yeah, took Donald Trump off.
I get it. I understand.
And where Kyrie messed up is he should have watched that thing before he put it out there.
Definitely should have. Definitely should have watched it. Hey, that's the first thing. I can't speak.
He got it.
We learned that.
That's his whole thing. He doesn't know how to say I'm sorry. I made a mistake. It's not hard. Just say like, hey, look, you know what? A part of being smart, as he wants to be, as he wants to prop himself ass, a part of doing that is learning, listen, intaking and putting out. He didn't watch that, and that's plainly obvious. There's nothing. There's no smart, and I don't think he's a dummy. I think he does dumb shit sometimes, and there's no part of me that believes that he would have put that out there if he saw that. Hey, this thing said the Holocaust was a hoax. I don't think no. That's a red flag at any point.
Correct.
Yeah, it's just like now they trying to whitewash history books and act like slavery didn't happen.
Exactly.
We offended by that.
Yeah, it is. So G, you're the last one that got your parting shot. Let's take your swing, baby.
Well, I'm going to go a different way about this whole thing with Kyrie, man. And, you know, I hope I don't offend anybody or make anybody real mad or upset, but I'm going to say it like this. Cash rules everything around me. Cream get the money. Dollar bill, y'all. That's what this is about. This is about money. Yes, Kyrie has a platform. Yes, Kyrie has the ability to influence young people. And he did post something that it's obvious he didn't even watch or read and try to go down the path of being an intellectual and being smarter than everybody else that he's around. But the issue is this is a money issue. And my problem with Kyrie Irving is that you compare yourself or you want to be counted in the greats, the lineage of the greats, you know, the 75, the 100 greats. It's out there, right? Go back and take some lessons from Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan had a completely different view in his personal life of what he did in his public life that ran his money, right? Kobe Bryant, at first, when he first got into the league, he had an issue and a problem trying to separate his private from his public view. And he had to learn that lesson too, where you have to separate what you believe privately from what you present publicly. It's not about being fake, not about being phony, but it's how you carry yourself on that platform. Because whether he likes it or not, the people that pay the bills are the people that's calling him into his offices, like the commissioner of the NBA, the commissioner of the Anti-Defamation League that has vast influence. These folks are calling him to his office to say, hey, look, man, do you really feel or have anti-Semitic viewpoints concerning how you deal with what we call Jewish people in our country? So the problem is with Kyrie is that, Kyrie, you have to learn how to separate your public view from your private view. And even in your private view, it should still be filtered based on information that you have, not by posting something that you didn't even pay no attention to watch.
Well,
I make a lot of controversial statements on this show, but a lot of times I've done the research to stir up the controversy.
I got you, Tate. I got you. Let me ask you a question. What about Bill Russell? What about Muhammad Ali? What about
apples to
Jim
oranges?
Brown?
Apples to oranges, because there's both fruit, but not the same stance. Jim Brown, Bill Russell, their stance was the equality that's in America not being put out there for black people, and they had the platform.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. They stood up for what they believed.
Correct.
And they said it loud and they said it proud. Right.
Still apples and oranges. Still apples.
Right. But I'm saying they didn't separate one from the other. They just took a stance.
You didn't see the only one of those athletes that you can name that even had something even similar or close to what Kyrie is talking about is Cassius Clay, aka Muhammad Ali's stance with him joining the military, because he said publicly and privately that the military is not a place for the black man in America. That's why they locked him up and they took the belts from him and he had to go to jail for years. That was the issue. But this is not, he's not saying I hate those people at the expense of loving me. Those are the people who saying I love me.
Kyrie's not a martyr. Kyrie's not a martyr.
Correct.
But now what I
he's
say,
gonna martyr himself. You know,
yeah, he is. But
he's gonna martyr himself.
We talking about this free speech and stuff. Here's another example. Tiffany Cross just got fired from MSNBC.
Yes.
For what she said on the Charlamagne the God show.
Correct.
Because it was inappropriate for her to have the platform and the position she has to say what she said.
Correct.
So yeah, she's not going to go to jail for it. But MSNBC was like, and NBC News like, we can't have you now.
Correct.
You done said that offended a whole bunch of people.
Right.
And let me tell you something. So the free speech thing gets misconstrued. It's been getting misconstrued a lot. Thanks a lot, Trump. So what the drawback between having free speech is hate speech is allowed. You know, you can get that off. Correct. You know, and there's consequences to come with that. It's not gonna be jail. They're gonna throw you in jail. Like in Germany, hate speech is illegal. You go to jail for that. In Israel, you go to jail for that.
Right.
And go to Russia. You have nowhere near the flexibility to say, even if what you think you want to say, you can't criticize nobody in public office. You can't say half of the things that that you think that we get away with saying.
Correct.
So don't misconstrue free speech as, I can say what I want and that's it. You don't go to jail. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Understood.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro. About it's not apples to oranges with Bill Russell and them. It's a completely different issue. Kyrie posted something. He didn't do the research and look up, and he just totally went there. This is the same guy that said that the Earth is flat too. So he makes statements that's like, come on, man.
I think he shoots himself. I think he said it. Pate said it earlier. He cheddar bobs himself a lot. You know what I'm saying? He really does. In the attempt to feel like he's smart. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one thing that I think he has to kind of learn from at this point. But again, we thank you guys for rocking with us, man. Y'all have been with us this whole hour, hanging with your boys, man. Definitely, you like this show, make sure that you like and subscribe. Share it with a friend, man. Make sure that you tell somebody, hey, man, the KnoItAllz are live. And also, your sign's upside down, G. Also, we are available on Twitter, so you can watch us on Twitter if you're there, man. For myself, for Big G, go Bucks, for Tate, and, man, I appreciate Pay. Pay, let me ask you this. What is the name of your sports group on Facebook?
Best Damn Sports Group, established 2011. Find us on Facebook, man. We're a fun place, man. All fans are welcome. We just a fan community trying to learn from each other. Enjoy the great thing that sports gives us.
Man, I appreciate you for coming. Man, we will catch y'all next week. Go Bucks. Peace.